brother. All right, man, ladies and gentlemen, what a week we have had. Things are getting violent in the sports world. Man, I tell you, Eric Bieniemy is joining the UCLA Bruins family. A Duke Blue Devil gets trampled by hundreds of Demon Deacons. And a former NFL MVP gets jumped at a 7-on-7 football camp. This is the Real Sports Podcast, man. We got sports to talk about right here on the Real to Sports Podcast. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for being here with us right here and right now on YouTube, man. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up and that subscribe button. That's right. That subscribe button is right there in front of you, man. And also check us out on all social media platforms, man. And we even have our own sports group, man, on Facebook. It is called the Real Sports Group, man. You come in there and talk sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All you just need is the passcode from Mr. Episode, and you'll be right in there. Speaking of episode, I got, ladies and gentlemen, one of the all-time greats here on the Real Sports Podcast. You guys bear with me because he has a long introduction. He is part of the 3-time Super Bowl champion. I'm talking about Antonio Pierce-led Las Vegas Raiders. He is Oklahoma. I don't it. I got goosebumps saying it, yo. Straight goosebumps. And he is Oklahoma State's alumni. The Go Pokes, baby. This man, longest reigning NFL trivia champion. This man is over 200 episodes. He is the loyal champion of the world. He has been on just here. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. This man is just here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the king of predictions. It is the very talented Mr. Young Mark.
What's going on, folks? It's that time of the year where it's the off season, trying to find something to watch on Sunday when you ain't got no football. This past weekend, I happened to turn to the NASCAR race. Being from North Carolina, NASCAR is a pretty big sport around here. And man, was I thoroughly entertained, bro. It came down to the very last lap. They went 3 wide coming to the checkered line, the checker flag and the start-finish line. And literally the margin of victory was 0.003 seconds. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Check this picture out.
Whoa! I didn't even. You know what? It won't let me put it on here for some reason. I just saw sit here battling trying to get it on here. Oh my god!
It's so quick. Host can't even catch it. It was so close.
I'm working on it, bro. Because I gotta see that. I'm looking down. That's crazy.
It literally was 0.003 seconds between first and second place.
Oh, bro,
shout out to my man Daniel Suarez. He's a driver from Mexico. He came out with the W. But man, that was a thrilling race. I just want to give a quick shout out to the homies in NASCAR for that one, man. That was
what was his name, Mark?
Daniel Suarez. He's a driver from Mexico. Yep.
Daniel Suarez. I don't see that. Huh. Wow. And when this happened, bro?
This was Sunday. This was at the racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Georgia. It was a chaos-filled race.
Oh,
It was
that's
like
right.
a
That's my
big wreck
homegirl was
on
there.
lap 2. It was the largest wreck in the
Okay, I
Winter
got it. I got it
Speedway
now.
history. Oh
I
yeah,
got it.
show it
Here
to
we
him.
go. Boom.
All right, Dak Prescott.
That is crazy. I know, right? I got the Dak in me for some reason. Here we
Man,
go.
that's how close that race came. The blue card there at the bottom of the screen, that's Daniel Suarez. He's the one that crossed the line first. Second
Jeez,
place was literally 0.003. I cannot emphasize that enough.
that is crazy.
0.003 seconds away from winning, man. Hell of a finish.
Jeez, that was oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Damn, NASCAR.
Yeah. You got to find something to keep you entertained till football come back on March the 30th. You know what I mean?
Jesus. And it seemed like time's just moving slow on that, man. I'm like, man, come on, man. They should have bumped it up to February.
That's what the XFL did last year. They didn't want to take their time with it this year, so they're in training camp right now. So
They're killing me,
see
man.
that
Sundays suck.
stuff.
I keep seeing the god awful. No, I ain't gonna say god awful, but man, before we start the show officially, man, but I am so sick of the NBA. And those of you watching, y'all probably sick of the NBA too. I am so, and there's no offense and no shade to nobody. But I'm just so tired of seeing the Boston Celtics, and I'm so tired of seeing the 76ers. I mean, Jesus.
That was a beatdown, son.
Yeah, but they're playing again tonight.
I love my homeboy Footy G, and Tyrese Maxey did his best.
Max is nice.
They were outmatched that whole game.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, they got the break speed. It was like about 50.
It was something bad. I don't even remember the score, but it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, God, man. But we need some more games, man. Like it's always Philly and Boston and Milwaukee and the Knicks and the Heat.
Star power, man. It's all about that star power and market. They ain't gonna put the Charlotte Hornets on national TV.
I would like to see the Hornets. Word up.
We're the only team in the entire NBA that's never played on Christmas.
Really?
Never in our history. We're the only team in the NBA that never did that.
Charlotte gotta get some dogs though. I don't know
Dogs that can stay healthy.
Yeah. I don't get what's going on with Carolina and the Hornets and like why they don't get no
Please
dogs.
don't mention the Panthers. Please.
What happened?
Ladies and gentlemen, Hosting got me triggered. He brought up the Panthers.
Uh-oh.
Tell me why, after you just had one of the most abysmal seasons, not only in franchise history, but what felt like NFL history, you had one of the worst seasons ever. You fired your head coach mid-season. You have virtually no talent on the roster. But your owner got the nerve to raise the season ticket prices for this season.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Come on, bro. Like why you gonna charge people more money to see crap? Like, come on, bro.
Was it $250?
The cheapest season ticket prices that I've seen personally were $500.
500? I thought it was 250. Yeah. 500?
And that's nosebleeds.
No, bro. 500 is one ticket just for our game. And that's just one admission ticket.
Lucky if you find a Raider ticket.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, what? I looked on our tickets. I was like, man, I sell my house again just to go to the game.
Man, listen.
Jeez.
And that's not even including the travel to get out there. Yo.
Yeah, I also say I go cross country
and get a hotel.
Man, no, bro. I cannot do it. I can't do it. Man, boy, Jesus Christ. I had to see if I could get Fanatics and all them guys. Man.
I mean, Antonio Pierce.
I had to see if they could give me some loan.
If Antonio Pierce and Mark Davis are listening, you know, we loyal fans, me and Host been down since day one. We've been through a lot as Raider fans. Hook us up with some tickets, you know what I'm saying?
Lie, man, please. please. I'll wash your car. I'll do your laundry.
You need an IT guy? I got you.
See? Morgan do the IT.
Host can host the studio show.
Yeah. Yeah.
something.
I got some host credentials.
Right.
Mark, you there too? You co-host.
Hey, bro. Let me do the IT stuff. That's my
Oh,
bread
okay,
and
all
butter.
right, okay. I got you. I got you. Let us in.
Yeah. And the what Bray Wyatt used to say,
That's
"May he
what he
rest in
said.
peace." Let
Yep,
me in.
yep. Let us in, man. That's all we want. Just a shot. All right, man. Thank you guys for being here with me and Mr. Episode tonight. We won't be for you long. Trust me, we won't. But we got to get into some of the most hot topics in the sports world today. So let's start this show off. And it went down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I ain't want a cheap pop button there. Cheap pop button ain't even working. But it went down there. So, Mark, I got that Dak in me, man. Here we go. I got the Dak in me, man.
Don't say that, host. I mean, you're gonna fail when we need you the most. Don't do that. Wait, my bad. That's a Lamar Jackson. My bad. Carry on.
Oh, due to the game. Oh, knockout, first round. All right, man. Went down in Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Hunter Silas scored 29 points. Andrew Carr had a second half performance to help Wake Forest edge number 8 Duke 83-79 on Saturday, earning a massive boost to his NCAA tournament chances. Mark, what?
It's about that time, man. March start on Friday, so about that time.
Winston-Salem? I mean, not Winston-Salem. Wake Forest is in the NCAA tournament. I mean, help their
I
chances.
mean, they've given us the likes of Muggsy Bogues and Tim
But
Duncan and Chris Paul.
Wake Forest suck, man. They trash, bro. You know it. They haven't been good since Paul. What was
I
that?
plead the
02?
fifth.
Wake Forest is trash. But as Demon Deacon fans storm the court to celebrate Duke star Kyle
Filipowski.
See, I even got a translator. Appeared to be injured after a collision with a fan running by him as he walked toward the locker room tunnel. He was hobbled and had to be helped off the court through the chaos. Filipowski, who said he injured his knee in the collision, believes the contact was intentional. He said this, and I quote, "It's just really ridiculous how that situation is handled." Filipowski told WFNY News, after the game. I absolutely feel like it was personal, intentional for sure. Like I said, there's no reason where they see a big guy like me trying to work my way off the court and they can't just work around me, That's no excuse for that. Duke coach John Shire expressed his displeasure with court storming, calling for it to be banned. When we are going to ban the when are we going to ban the court storming? I can't believe. Okay, Shire asked media, when are we going to ban that? How many times does a player have to get into something where they get punched or they get pushed or they get taunted right in their face? It's a dangerous thing. Mark, before I explode, please go ahead, because this is
To break it down a step further for those who don't know, what separates college athletics from professional sports, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, what have you, the passionate fan base. So I don't think we should punish the fans or take away their ability to celebrate a huge win. Um, but what I think would alleviate the situation would be the security. That's really my big takeaway from this is like, where was the security to protect the opposing team, coaches, and players during a situation like that? I look at college football, for example. People storm the field all the time. Oklahoma State, my alma mater, when we beat Oklahoma in the last Bedlam game this year, the fans in the stands stormed the field, but nobody got hurt. I outside of this, I really can't ever think of a time where I've heard of a player getting hurt during fans rushing the field or rushing the court to celebrate a huge win. And I feel like you're Duke University. You've been one of the most prominent blue blood programs in college basketball for damn near a century at this point. You should know that when you're going up against anybody, they're going to give you their absolute best shot, and they're going to be incredibly thrilled with the win because they beat one of the poster childs of the sport in Duke. So I feel like I'm looking at the administration like, where's the extra security, especially if you're on the road? Where's the security to protect your coaches? Where's the security to protect your players? Wake Forest, the same thing. You know this is going to be a huge moment for your student body and everybody in the building if you pull out this win. Why not beef up security and try to create a safe alleyway for the players to escape so that way they can get off the court without anybody getting hurt, and the student body who supported that school through ups and downs can celebrate their big team victory. I feel like when you look at college football, for example, host, you're a big Alabama fan. Every Iron Bowl I've ever watched, whether it's Nick Saban or Gus Malzahn or whoever coaching, one of the very first things that you see as soon as that clock hits 000, the coach is surrounded by police officers who are armed and ready to go. There's a bunch of on-field security there protecting the players and helping them get off the field. Same thing you see in the NFL, same thing you kind of see in the NBA. So my question to college basketball in this case is, where is the extra security to help keep everybody safe? That's my big takeaway from this.
Okay. Because I'm sitting here watching this video. I wish I can show you guys what's going on, but I get hit with copyright infringement. I can't afford that right now. But you know what I think, man? I think Duke is a bunch of crybabies. I think they're salty because they lost.
Are you saying that because you're a Carolina fan?
No. because I don't know, man. Duke has went through this for years, court storming. They
won
big games
a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. So, and this is the first time that somebody actually got hurt, right? First
time I can recall. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is the first time somebody has actually gotten hurt. Okay. I think they're just whining babies. You want this to stop? This is something that's been going on for decades. This is major.
It's a tradition in college athletics.
Cutting the nets, everything.
Yeah.
But court storming, they even do it in football.
Yeah.
The goalposts, they take the goal. I don't think they do it anymore, but I mean,
in college football, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Your conference, the SEC, and again, I'm not trying to throw shade. After Tennessee upset you guys in Neyland Stadium a year or so ago, the fans tore down the goalpost. The Southeastern Conference, SEC, has a very strict policy against stuff like that because it's very expensive to replace those. So when the student body tore down the goalpost that day after Tennessee upset Alabama, the SEC fined the University of Tennessee $100,000.
They did.
So you could implement something like that, take a page out of college football's book, implement a huge fine if you want to prevent players from getting hurt. But I don't think getting rid of it's gonna solve
it. No, that's what I'm saying. Duke is, I think, and it's no shade against Duke. I'm a Carolina Tar Heels fan. I'm a little bit biased. But no shade, bro. But man, I think this is a bunch of crybabies. I think Duke. Of course, they really wanted this game because it's going to make their chances in the tournament. Right now, it's tournament season, March Madness. Every win, exactly. It magnifies 10,000 times, right? Okay, so they lost to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is trash. They are
Don't
trash.
let Tim Duncan hear you say that, right? You're going to take away the Spurs card.
I know, right? And Chris Paul.
Right.
But Wake Forest is trash. And they lost to the worst team in North Carolina. They lost. And of course they're going to court storm. This is big for them.
Yeah, that's a huge upset.
Yeah. and it gives them a chance to go to the tournament. Something Wake Forest hasn't done in eons. So I think you just because this happened, you can't ban it. Come on, man. It just sounds like you having a temper tantrum. You lost the game. You having a temper tantrum. You want to take it away. So I'm looking at the video. I don't see anything intentional. I don't see any hand swinging. I don't see anything. I just see people running to the court. That's all I see. And Filipowski is in the middle. He's just in the middle. But I don't see anything, anybody. I don't see no harm. I just see people running. And he's just in the mix of it. And he just so happened to get hurt. That's what people do when you in a group of people. Yeah, you're gonna get hurt because they're running towards something. You're there. You got 100 people running at you. You can't dodge. You can't. You're not the Matrix. You can't do all this. Something gonna hit you, but you in the way. But my thing, Mark, is, and I know things happen quick, Mark. I know things happen quick, but you ain't see them people coming. You ain't hear them people coming. Why you ain't off the court? Because when I'm looking at, half of Duke is off the court.
Yeah.
Come on now.
That's where the awareness has to come into play. Like,
yeah,
you're in a hostile environment. I understand you just lost a tough game, a close game. You might be in shock, but you can't pull a Stephon Diggs and stand on the court and watch the confetti fall. You got to get the heck out of there. So
yeah, you got to get out of there. This like majority of Duke team is gone. Yeah. And Philippi, I mean, I'm looking at it again. I wish I could show y'all. There's nothing intentional. He just got in the way. What? Yeah. And Duke making such a big stink over it. And now they're going to go all the way to the NCAA and make this a case. I can't believe this, man. This is ridiculous. It just sounds like a bunch of whining babies. Huh?
It's not just Duke, though. Out of the Big 12, Coach Bill Self, who's the head coach of Kansas, he's calling for the same thing. He's asking for it to be banned. I heard Seth Greenberg and Jay Billis on ESPN saying the same thing.
But I wonder why. I wonder why they want this ban, because again, have they players got hurt?
No, but everybody sees it as a major safety concern, which to an extent, people are unpredictable, right? And anything can happen in a situation like that. But again, if you have the proper procedures and the proper security in place, your players can be safe, and fans can still enjoy the magical moment of upsetting a huge in-state rival. I mean, that's why we love college athletics.
Like I said, this has been going on for years, and nobody has not said anything about bringing security. Nobody has not said anything about it until now. All of a sudden, a Duke player gets hurt. Now we need security. And I get that. We do need security now. But how the hell are they going to react so fast like that? That happened in a blink of an eye. Nobody knows that Wake Forest is going to win. No, Wake Forest didn't come in with a crystal ball and say, hey, we're going to win. And then in the last second, we're just going to run down on the court. Nobody said that. We're just going to storm the court. You can't predict that stuff. So how can you secure it? The best thing, if that happens, is for the security to come on afterwards, or at least come on there when it gets, because you can't stop it. Once it start coming, hundreds of people coming down, unless you're going to have hundreds of security, which you're not going to have. That's a lot of money you're going to pay. You're not going to have that lot. And they're not going to stop it. Let's say Wake Forest win a national championship. There's no way in hell that the security is going to stop hundreds of Wake Forest screaming Demon Deacon fans from coming on their court. There's no way they're going to stop that. This is something that's traditional. I understand they need to be careful, man, but dang, man, like, it's only out of thousands of storming, thousands and thousands of court storming throughout the NCAA season, only one person get hurt out of all these years. And now you want to stop
it. To answer what you just said, host, I think that, again, you have to be aware of the situation. If you're playing a major program or going to be against an in-state rival, that's when you beef up security and keep extra and hire extra people for that game. Because again, when it's the Iron Bowl or when it was Bedlam, they always had extra security available because they knew, all right, if the underdog wins this game, especially if they're at home, it's a chance they're going to rush the field or storm the court. So we need to be prepared for it. Like if you notice, well, I don't know how intricately you watch those big rivalry games, but literally when they pan the student section or the outer wall like late in the fourth quarter or something like that, in Bedlam, for example, you always see a bunch of people in neon yellow jackets. That's normally security lining the student section, lining the outer wall in preparation for what could happen. So again, I think all college basketball really has to do is just look at college football and look at what they're doing and just copy and paste, really.
I don't see this as being a court case. This thing is gonna be a waste of time. I don't think they should ban it. This is a celebration. This is a celebration. The fans are celebrating their team beating a prestige team like Duke University.
Yeah.
It's a celebration. It's a feel-good moment. So why would you try to put water on a feel-good moment? I get that the guy got hurt. I get that. And I don't want nobody to get hurt. I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm not saying that at all, but goddamn. This is something that's big. Not just with Wake Forest, but just with any NBA don't do it, of course. But college, it's something traditional with college, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know how to fix this, but banning it is sure not going to work. What you're going to do when you ban it, you're going to have a lot of angry young fans, angry that they can't do or celebrate with the team that they've been going for years. And you mean to tell me I paid my money for my ticket, and when the team win, I can't go celebrate on the court? That's big.
Yeah, man, you got to come out of pocket for them student section tickets.
Yeah,
those weren't included in my scholarship at Oklahoma State.
See, with Oklahoma State, let's say Oklahoma State win the national championship, and you at the game, and you on the 50. Guarantee you're going from the 50 to the field.
I don't know. See, that's a big ass drop from the student section down to that field.
Well, okay. Okay, so like let's get out of the field. Let's go to basketball. If Oklahoma State wins let's say they win the tournament or whatever, and you're close to that court, bro, you are running. Why? Yeah. Because it's something you've been waiting on for years. That's your team. You love your team. You went to that school. That's your alma mater. That's the team you love. So when they win the championship, finally, you're gonna rush the field. It's a celebration. It's a feel-good moment.
That's literally the fabric of college sports. That's what separates college athletics from professional. Like, you don't get that same amount of passion. Like, again, all due respect to any team in the NFL or any team in NBA. Mm-hmm. There is no way in hell you're going to pack a 100,000 seat stadium legitimately week after week with all of it filled with fans of your team cheering at the top of their lungs, supporting that team no matter if they're good, bad, or indifferent. You're only going to get that in college.
Exactly. So I don't think they should ban it. I think Duke Blue Devils is a bunch of crybabies. I think this is a little bit more. This is a little bit more than just, my player got hurt. You know, y'all salty because y'all lost to sorry Wake Forest. Y'all salty. You're salty. Because, like you just said, it just happened in Duke on Coach K court, right? It happened.
No, that was in Winston.
Is it? No, it's about. You said Duke had a storming, right?
No, they.
But
I can't remember who it was, but they were on the road earlier this season and got upset on the road, similar to what happened with Wake Forest.
Okay.
And the opposing fans, because they were at home and were celebrating the big win, they stormed the court. In that situation, everybody was able to get off the court and not get hurt. Yeah. So, you know.
But the situation is Duke. The Duke is a prestigious team, and they are.
They're literally one of the most historic basketball programs in the
They've
country.
done this millions of times. When they beat Tar Heels, run the floor, everybody storm. Storm
Yeah,
every
for sure.
time.
Cameron Crazy's gonna storm the court.
That's what I'm saying. So why stop? Why stop now? Why? Because it ain't benefiting y'all. I'm telling you, bro. Crybabies. It's my party, and I cry if I want to. I wouldn't cry if it would happen to me. No, this is what happened. You just sore losers. Take it on the chin, go in the tournament, and do something with it. That's
Yeah,
all I say.
use it as fuel.
Use it as fuel. Use it as fuel. That's all I say. And as far as gonna say, that's all I gotta say about that. Moving right along, man. We're gonna go from the hard court to the gridiron. Ladies and gentlemen, man. UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, that's them. UCLA, Reggie Miller, Russell Westbrook, the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all these UCLA Bruins here. UCLA hires Troy Aikman. That's the one I was missing. Troy Aikman. UCLA hires Eric Bieniemy, the ex-Chiefs Commanders offensive coordinator, joins the Bruins as an associate head coach / offensive coordinator. It's pop up off. One of the most notable names in NFL coaching carousel across the last few seasons, former Washington Commanders assistant head coach / offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy has a new home. Bieniemy will move back to the college ranks, joining new UCLA coach Deshaun Foster's staff as associate head coach, and offensive coordinator. He said this, and I quote, "This is a great opportunity for me to help support Deshaun as a new head coach, to work with him and for him as well," Bieniemy told CBS Sports. Josina Anderson. I chose to fly under the radar during this hiring process, and my experience generated a lot of interest from a number of NFL teams prior to coming to this decision. Bieniemy, who previously rose to prominence as offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs, said 2 NFL teams showed interest in him as an offensive coordinator early in the offseason hiring process. He also interviewed with the Commanders for their head coaching vacancy and received a variety of other NFL offers, ranging from associate head coach and running backs coach, really, to senior offensive assistant. Bieniemy returns for a second coaching stint in Westwood, California, with 19 years between his time with the Bruins. He previously coached running backs at UCLA from 2003, 2005, before beginning his NFL coaching career. This won't be his first time as a college offensive coordinator either. Bieniemy called plays at Colorado, his alma mater, for 2 seasons, 2011 and 2012, prior to joining UCLA. I'm not going to read this other ones because it said the Chiefs won 2 whatever. So I'm not reading that. Whatever. But Mark, man, got a new home for Bieniemy. Finally. Hopefully the guy can stay there. But your thoughts on Bieniemy joining Deshaun Foster, who was a great running back in his time?
Yeah, he's a UCLA legend. I'm gonna be honest with you, host. My emotions are kind of all over the place with this story.
Me too, brother. Me too.
On one hand, I'm very happy that he found a home somewhere to continue his coaching career and continue to do what he loves to do. It's obvious that he's very passionate about coaching, because if he was just in it specifically to be a head coach, all due respect, I feel like he would have let that go a long time ago. With as many times as he's been rejected, there's no shade to him, but just is a human being. Um, but at the same time, it feels almost like a downgrade. You know what I mean? Like,
Big
you're
time.
going. It's one thing if you go from the NFL to college to be a college head coach to prove that you can do it. Pete Carroll did it. You know what I mean? There's a most recent example that comes to mind, but it's just kind of odd. Like, the only 2 NFL teams wanted to hire him. The not even be an offensive coordinator, but just
That's what
be
I'm saying.
on the coaching staff, period. Like, that's really what's shocking to me. And I give credit to Stephen A. because when Stephen A. talked about this, he brought up a good point. We just had a year in which you saw a record number of minority head coaches get hired in the NFL. Like I mentioned to you on the Real Sports talk show, in the NFC North, you got 3 out of the 4 teams of there were black GMs. So in Eric Bieniemy's case, can we really say it's like a skin color thing anymore? Can we really say like he's being overlooked because he's a black man anymore? When you have like Raheem Mostert and Antonio Pierce and Gerard Mayo, among others, getting head coaching jobs, I don't know. I'm starting to think it might just be something with the person. You know what I mean? Like something with, I don't know if it's his coaching style or his personality or the way he carries himself. I don't know what it is. But for whatever reason, he's interviewed countless times and nobody's decided to give him the job. And when you're seeing everybody else get a head coaching job, it really does make you wonder, like, is it Coach Bieniemy? I would have loved to have seen him, if not get another job in the NFL. You know, me, of course, I'm going to pound the table, but, you know, somebody in the UFL give him a chance, you know what I mean, to be a head coach. We gave Hines Ward a chance last year. So when I give Eric Bieniemy a chance, you know, to be a first-time head coach there, but no openings right now. So you got to take what you can get to continue to make income and put food on the table for your family. I get that, but it's just like, man, what the hell is wrong? Like, that's really my big takeaway from this. Like, what is making him so undesirable to these NFL teams? So,
I agree with you, and I'm not going to make this a black and white thing because, like you said, there's no need for it. We got black coaches down in the league now, so it's not that. We might as well just ex-nay that.
Yeah, that argument don't work no more.
It has no legs. So now, which is, I'm glad you said that, because now let's go internally. We don't look out. We don't look externally. That's not it. So now let's look internally. The internal problem, it has to be something with him. And I think, Mark, that he doesn't have a player-coach relationship. It got to be. Because the guy is...
No, because the Kansas City Chiefs is what they call them around here.
Yeah.
They all raved about him. Like, Pat Mahomes loves him. And you always hear raving reviews about how his coaching style really brought the best out of those players. So,
but,
I don't know.
But let's be honest though.
Yeah.
Andy Reid called those plays 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's part of Randy Ray, maybe because he was a quote unquote like one of motivational speakers or something.
The common word I heard from him was he held everybody to a high standard of accountability.
That ain't good enough. Like I said, we done solved the problem on the X. So let's go in. The end. It got to be something in the end. It got to be in the inner. Because I mean, yeah, he got the 2 Super Bowls, man, but come on, man. We all know behind the scenes who's calling those plays. If that relationship was so good, why they get rid of him? Because they had a well-oiled machine, Kansas City.
I don't think it was that they wanted to get rid of him. I think they were trying to help him break, because the common argument for him was, well, he's not being taken seriously as an offensive play caller because, like you just said, Andy Reid calls all the plays.
Yeah.
My counter argument to that was, well, that didn't stop Matt Nagy from getting a job. That didn't stop Doug Peterson from getting a job. So
now we're going external.
Literally, I've just run out of excuses as to what it could be.
Yeah, those guys, what you just said, now we're going external because you're right. Part of that. But it got to be something, bro. It could be his play calling. When he went to Washington, we all know that was an epic fail. Epic.
Can you call it that? Because Sam Howell was looking damn good I don't know. Host Sam Howell was looking damn good most of the season, and they hung in there and gave Philly all they could handle twice. They were putting up points.
Okay, so give me another game besides that.
I'm talking about both times they played Philly.
I know, but give me two, give me more, give me more.
I mean, I ain't a Washington fan,
Be
you know.
more.
I
Right.
ain't a Washington fan, so I
Okay.
can't tell you too
But
much.
all right, so let's hang on. Let's I got you, bro.
I hate
DMV,
that franchise.
shout out to the DMV up there.
Don't
but,
forget that
but
team.
word. But let's hang on there though, Mark. Okay. So with the Redskins, I mean with the Commanders and Sam Howell. All right. So it looked like they decided to go with Sam Howell. Okay. Let me break this down here. Let me because I'm trying to break it down and not be so use racism in this. But okay. Dan Quinn comes in, right? Head coach. Dan Quinn comes in, moving truck, U-Haul, boom, boom. All of a sudden, bam! We thought we gonna see Eric Bieniemy and Dan Quinn. Oh no! Dan Quinn starts cleaning house. Bam! Who does he start with first? Bieniemy. Boom. Okay. Now all of a sudden, Cliff Kingsbury, who's going to be our OC, he dips off. Oh, he gets a better offer in Washington. Okay, so now he goes to Washington now. Okay. Now the enemy's out of job. They kick the enemy out. See, I'm going internal, I'm going external here. Because all of a sudden Kingsbury's gone. I mean, Kingsbury's in and Bieniemy's out. But Bieniemy, like you said, those two games they play Philly. They play Philly. Philly is a great team. So and they gave Philly the run for their money, both games, both times. But at the end of the day, the Redskins, the Commanders, they only won 5 games. They went 5-12. It went 5-12 at the end of the day. Was that part of Bieniemy's fault? No, because Jack Del Rio jacked up some stuff too. He got fired.
So, and I have to give credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Host is correct, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm off screen right now. I just looked it up. If you're looking at the 2023 offensive rankings, the Commanders were 24th in the league for offensive yards per game. They had the 24th best average. They averaged 312.8 yards a game.
The worst. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
The league leader, for example, in comparison, were Miami Dolphins. They did 401 a game. Looking at passing offense, they ranked. Let's see.
They was the worst offense in the league. Worst. Now they're going to be next to last.
They were 18th in passing offense.
Okay, that's pretty good.
So,
top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's let's see. Okay, so they got Sam Howell, right? Okay, they're gonna go with Sam Howell again, bro, unless they get Caleb, which I highly doubt. So they're gonna go with Sam Howell. Sam Howell is bad, but he's good, and he's good, but he's bad. Is that understandable way to put it?
Well,
he's good, but he's bad, but he's bad, but he's good.
One positive offensive stat for them, they were 5th in the league in red zone offense, if that counts or anything.
It don't.
But but I mean, looking at it though, host, here's another not trying to make excuses for Coach B.
No, you're fine.
Just going off of his most recent body of work in Washington. How much slack do you give him for the fact that Sam Howell threw a lot of interceptions and they didn't really have a good offensive line, so they couldn't run the ball or protect the quarterback?
Yeah, that's not the enemy's fault.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, like, do you give him like some leeway because of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because he went from Kansas City, Tariq Hill and Travis and Taylor Swift and all them before Taylor Swift. Sorry. But he went from Kansas City to Washington. Kansas City, Washington. He knew when he got on that plane to go to Washington, he knew he was gonna struggle. He knew it. I know he knew it. You coming in with a rookie quarterback, with a garbage offensive line, and then when you get there, you lose your number one pass rusher, Chase Young. Montez Sweat is out of there. He went to the Bears. Your defense is now in shambles. You got to know this is going to be just a whole London Bridge is falling down. It went piece by piece the whole season, bro. Granted, they had those 2 great games against Philly. That was good. But what can we say after that? Nothing.
Yeah.
Can't say nothing out there. They got murdered by the Cowboys. They lost to the Giants. I mean, come on. What more do you want, man?
They almost beat the Rams on the road.
Yeah.
When they took Sam Howell out of the game and put Jacoby Brissett in there, they just waited too late to make the switch.
You got two young, I would say 2 young upcoming dogs, and Johan Dawson and Terry McLaurin. But they was not a non-factor. Why? Because the line can hold up Howell, so Howell can get the ball to him. That's not on Bieniemy.
Howell just threw a lot of picks.
Decisions. But Howell has his own brain. Bieniemy can't think for him. Bieniemy can't think for him. He didn't have to do that with Mahomes. Mahomes is gifted. Mahomes can play. Mahomes
and also Mahomes. I don't mean no shade, and I know that's the enemy. Hey, Mahomes been coached up pretty darn good throughout his football career.
By Cliff.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with him Bieniemy going to UCLA, I think it's going to be a fresh start. I really hope they be successful. What division is that? What conference is that they play in?
They're going to be in the Big Ten next year.
Big Ten.
He's going up against Chip Kelly, Ryan Day at Ohio State.
Yeah.
The team up in Michigan. So it's going to be some tough fights for him.
It sure is. But I hope that they get successful, because if they're gonna get successful, it's gonna open up a coaching job for him in college for sure. I don't think it's gonna work out for him in the pros. Maybe down the line, because he's 54 years old, so he's still young in coach years. So it's gonna work out for him in probably in the long run. But I think going back to your roots, as I can say that, going back to your roots, is going to be good. Now he gets the play call. Now he's going to be calling the play for the Bruins. And as far as running back coach, I mean, goddamn, like that's kind of like a demotion, right? I don't know necessarily what the coaching tree, but you're an assistant head coach, and then you're a running backs coach.
One way to look at it, the head coach is the president, the offensive and defensive coordinators are the vice president, and you got the cabinet members, which are like the wide receivers coach, tight ends coach, position players.
Okay, so this is gonna work out for him, bro. I think this is gonna work out for him. I really wish he'd be successful. You never know. He might even take over the head coach over Deshaun. I mean, you just never know. I mean,
I don't know, man.
If they're not successful, because you know when schools are not successful like that, they're gonna start with the coach, especially in college. They're gonna start with the coach, and who's gonna replace him?
In college football,
and you just named who we got to play now.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but in college football,
okay,
that coach contract buyout is something legit. So schools really do have to think before they straight up fire a dude. So it's not as it's not David Tepper with Carolina, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but this is UCLA. They're not known for football. No, for football. Nah, basketball, bro. They known for basketball. And if you look back in NCAA history, and especially back in the 80s, UCLA was there, bro. They was one of the top schools. They were one of the top schools, and they're not known for football. It's just not. But
I mean, they just recently had a top 10 pick at quarterback in the NFL draft.
who?
Josh Rosen. He was a top 10 pick. Hey, bro, he was a top 10 pick in the draft. It counts.
Oh boy.
Hey, bro, they
Yo.
had Troy Aikman back in the day, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah, 40 years ago. Josh Rosen.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Josh Rosen was in the same draft with Lamar and Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. He went top 10, man. He was picked before Lamar. UCLA product.
Oh God. They not know what no football, bro. But hopefully they can change it around. Those two brothers, they can change it around. Bieniemy has a good faith. He's a great football mind, I believe. Deshaun. It's something about these former players, as you can see, these former players coming in, and they're very successful because they can relate and they have a connection and an admiration. The players admire them, and also when you're a former player, you give more respect to your players because you've been in them shoes before. You was in the trenches before, so you know what that player is going through. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I really wish the best for them, Bieniemy, and if they're successful, it's gonna open up. It's gonna open up some eyes and ears on Bieniemy. It's gonna put a little spotlight on him because he's more spotlighted because of Kansas City. And should be open up a head coaching job somewhere, maybe in the collegiate level or back to the NFL. Back to the NFL.
I'm calling it now. If he does get a head coaching job, I put money on it. It's going to be in the UFL before it's the NFL.
Hey, take my money. Take it. I'm with it. I'm with you. I'd rather see him there than in the NFL because the NFL is more politic.
Yeah.
XFL is a little bit more decent down the line. They don't fire your ass like that.
Unless you're Hines Ward or Rod Woodson.
Yeah. And Lord knows those guys, well, they already got jobs, right?
I don't know.
If not, they will get one soon.
Yeah.
Former players. These are Hall of Fame players, too.
Yeah.
Man, hell yeah, they're going to get a job. Somewhere, somehow. Some somehow they're gonna get a job easy. But I hope Bieniemy. I wish him the best. I wish Deshaun Foster. I remember him back in the day, Carolina running back. Yeah. So I wish those brothers the best, and hopefully they can turn that program around. I don't know about making them a powerhouse, but definitely, baby steps first, man. We'll see. So wishing them the best. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest, and I mean biggest, stories going on in the sports world right now. And I am talking about Mr. Cameron Newton. Lord have mercy. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton seemingly involved in a fight at a youth football game in an unfortunate situation. Former NFL MVP Cam Newton was seemingly involved in a fight at a youth football game in Atlanta over the weekend. Weeball Sports, the apparel company and host of the event, called the incident an unfortunate situation. In videos posted to social media, Newton, who is 34 years of age, could allegedly be seen fighting off two men before a police officer and others in the area got involved to break it up. According to ESPN, little is known about what led to the altercation between Newton and several other men at the 7-on-7 youth football game put on by Weeball Sports. The Athletic reported that the two men seen in the video fighting with Newton were both coaches for the Top Shelf Performance football program, which helps with developing top shelf athletes from Pee Wee football to the NFL. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to go. I'm looking at the video. They keep showing the video. But Mark, Cam Newton, right? He fights off. I mean, he gets into a big altercation again. Nobody knows I've read also that some guys were saying that Cam Newton disrespects people. They say he disrespects people, and I guess that's how it started. But nobody knows exactly what the hell happened. We just seen a video with Cam, and it don't seem like it's nothing too serious because no punches was involved. Cam Newton is a charismatic guy. We all know that. Charismatic. He's gonna say what he wants. He's gonna do what he wants. It's him. But this is his thing, right? This is his tournament. Like this is something that he does every year with the kids in Atlanta. That's what he does, right? So no matter what, this guy, because I was reading earlier that some people were saying Cam Newton disrespect people. He talk about he can say what he want to say, but it looked like they jumped on him. Cam, I mean, and I don't know Cam Newton personally, neither do you, but we all seen him on the field, and we all see what he's about. This guy is not type. Look at him. He's just not the type of guy that's gonna jump on you. He's just not. He's just not that type of guy. So I don't understand what happened. But Mark, let me get your take on what inspired here.
I have
This is crazy.
two thoughts on this situation. I'm gonna start with the bigger picture first, and then work my way inward, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Number one, this is an event that was supposed to be for the kids. The adults in the room need to stand up, put whatever disagreement or negativity they have for one another aside, and focus on the kids. Keep, as they say in Philadelphia, keep the main thing the main thing.
Thanks.
As adults, you should be able to temporarily be like, all right, let's not do this here. If we're gonna argue, let's go somewhere else so that way we don't distract or take away from the kids. Because at the end of the day, the kids are not involved in this, but they're the ones getting the most punishment from it. It's almost like it's parents, and you can speak to this more than I can. The mom and the dad get into an argument, they take it somewhere else because they don't want the kids to overhear it, and they don't want the kids to be negatively affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why we as grown men can't sit down and air out our grievances with each other without it resulting in a fight all the time, or why our ego is so fragile to where, as we unfortunately saw in Kansas City, you look at a dude the wrong way and they immediately want to take it to a violent place.
It's very true.
And I'm so incredibly thankful, as bad as this is, I'm so thankful it didn't escalate to another level of violence again, like we just saw with the parade in Kansas City. Because it very easily could have turned into these dudes, are getting subdued by Cam Newton. Yes. And excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen, if you got kids watching, please mute TV for a second for what I'm about to say. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, nobody likes to wear an ass whooping. And instead of dealing with the embarrassment of losing a fight, as Pop said on Friday, you win some, you lose some, you get to live to fight another day.
It's true.
Dudes ain't trying to do that no more. Nowadays, you say something disrespectful or dudes feel like you looked at them the wrong way, they immediately pull out the gun and want to settle it that way. And I'm just incredibly thankful that this didn't turn into that, because that would have been an even worse situation, especially at a predominantly black event featuring prominent black athletes. It's even more negative fuel for our stereotypes, for the media to cover. So I'm thankful in that regard. It at least didn't go that far. Cam Newton was able to subdue the guys by himself. I didn't really see him throw any punches. Multiple dudes came at him, and he just basically defended himself. To take a deeper look into it, host, you've been a sports fan longer than I have, so I'll defer to you. Can you name any athlete in the history of sports has been more disrespected than Cam Newton?
No.
Because I can only think of one person, and that's Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Russell could literally just be sitting on the bench, dancing music in the arena, and get a lot of hate.
I'm getting that,
And
Dad. Go ahead.
it's not just like I hate you because like you balled out against my favorite team, like on
Yeah.
some sportsman type stuff. No, like, it's like legit personal hatred that these dudes are getting, and it's like for
Mm-hmm.
no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Newton hosts these football camps, like you said, every year, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like almost every year a video comes out of
Yeah.
him trying to teach the kids, and
Yeah.
either a kid or a parent getting mad, disrespectful at him.
Yeah.
And as a human being, I know me personally, I can only take so much before I retaliate. I don't care who
Yeah.
you is, anybody
That's right.
disrespect me.
That's right.
And people were criticizing Cam a couple years ago
Mm-hmm.
when he did a gesture towards a kid who was talking junk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but I just don't understand why he just can just breathe and get a bunch of disrespect from people. It doesn't make any sense. You don't hear about crap like this going on at an Elite 11 camp with Trent Dilfer and the guys. And you certainly don't hear about this kind of crap going on at the Manning Passing Academy. So
Good point.
why is it Cam Newton? You know what I mean? Like, why him?
Well, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because it's the parents that's living behind the kid.
I've heard
Like
that argument too.
they like you said, they disrespected that man a few years ago.
But
Cam Newton.
even if you're a parent you're living vicariously through your kid, again, when you send your kid to the Manning Passing Academy, you don't pull this kind of crap.
Yeah, that's
When you
what I'm
send them to
saying.
Elite 11, you don't do this kind of stuff. So
You know why? Because people has gotten comfortable with Cam Newton. Cam Newton is one of, I hate to say it like that, but he's one of us. He's one of us, really. And what the guy has done each and every single year, he buys shoes, he buys everything for these kids in his camp every year. Every single year, Mark, and he does that with the kids. Guess what? Now, if this dude leaves, he could decide not to do it no more.
yeah, and personally, I wouldn't blame him.
I wouldn't blame him. For what? For the kids come on here and disrespect him like that? And see, that disrespect, what that kid did was a few years ago, it kind of opened the door now.
Yeah.
Part of it is Cam's fault because Cam liked to live in the spotlight. He liked to live in the spotlight. And he kind of puts a target on himself because he does yap a lot. Remember the whole Brock Purdy thing? You know, it goes to that. It's how he dresses. When he dresses a different way. So he dresses a certain way, so people start saying negative. And guess what? Other people are hearing the negative. And then other people are hearing the negative. Now Cam Newton's negative. It's not negative. He's just doing what he want to do. That's his, as Bobby Brown said, that's his prerogative.
Yeah.
But people frown upon that. And guess what? Now they feel like they need to just throw rocks at him because he's an outcast and he's different and this and that. And then he got the crazy looking hats and all this good stuff in. And he's a grown ass man. He could have demolished those guys. This dude is 6'5". He's 6'5".
Yeah, he ain't no little boy.
Yeah, he's a monster.
You ain't going up against Rey Mysterio, bro. You just up to the Undertaker.
Word. I'm looking at the brawl. And these guys is like hella little. Even the cop is little towards him. 6'5"? He's huge. This dude's a former. He had 400 pounders on him running the ball in the end zone. So what you think he gonna get these little jokers out, man? Come on, man. Cam Newton made a living running over people. At one time in 2015, this dude was the most dominant player in the NFL. I like Cam Newton, man. I follow Cam Newton. I think he's a good guy. He loves his kids. He loved the kids. Again, he's been doing this for years, man, with the Atlanta thing. He's from Atlanta, all that, blah, blah, blah. But I just think it's sad that, that we as people want to fight this guy and get into it with this guy. We need to really appreciate this guy taking time and out of his schedule. Cam Newton has made enough money in his career to just live life like it's golden. But he taking time out. He got a hot ass podcast. I like his podcast. His podcast is nice. So I mean, he don't have to do this. He can quit right now and just leave it. And guess what? Guess what's gonna happen in a black community? This is what's gonna happen. Oh, nobody. Everybody go to Peyton Manning stuff, but nobody don't come over here to the black kids. Well, you had it. You had it, and you took advantage of it. That's exactly what's going to happen, Mark. That's exactly what's going to happen, and it's sad.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, it's sad because it ain't the kids; it's the parents. It's the parents. These parents is off when it comes down to sports, man. It is off the chain. Long story short, my team just a few weeks ago, we was in a championship game. We had to play 2 games. We had to play the team called the Bulls. We had to play them first to get to the championship game, right? So we beat the Bulls 3 points. It was a close game. Went all the way to the wire.
Talking and do.
Word. Shout out to my Hawks, my Hayes Hawks, man. They played good. But the first game we had to play was the Bulls, right? So me and my assistant coach, we sitting watching the other game or whatever. We watching the game before we played. And I noticed one of the Bulls parents, one of the players, his mom, and they were sitting side by side. And I was talking strategy with my best player on my team and my assistant coach. You know what they were doing? Eavesdropping. So I told her to keep it down. Just keep it down. Eavesdropping. It's not that serious. It's not that serious to be eavesdropping, right? So, okay. So now we beat the Bulls, right? They cheat. Even the coaches didn't even want to shake our hands for some reason because they was throwing everything in. Even the ref came over to me and said, "Coach, you might want to watch this because you might want to watch them because something ain't right going on. You might want to watch them, man." That's what the ref said to me. I don't even know what's going on. I'm looking at in the game, but they cheating. So, okay. Now we beat the Bulls. We beat the Bulls 31-28, right? We beat them. Now we in the championship game against the Clippers. Okay, Clippers killing us. Oh man, they a great team. They was killing us, man. And I look over on across the court, and the Bulls player, his mom, and the little boy that was eavesdropping, they over there cheering for the Clippers. But it ain't the boy, Mark. It ain't the boy. It's the mama. It was so bad, Mark. It was so bad that the ref told the athletic director, he said, "Man, that lady over there off the chain. She off the chain." She was salty at us so bad, kind of like Duke. but she was salty so bad, Mark, but she was cheering for the other team. She was cheering for the other team. Every time the Clippers scored, she was outrageous with it. She straight OD with it. She was going crazy. Yeah. And I told my sister, I said, look over there. Every time they scored, she get up, yeah, la, la, la. She, yeah. Look, she doing this, yeah, she clapping, but it ain't that everybody looking at her like, and I said, wow. But what I'm saying in principality is these parents is worse than the kids. They're worse than the kids, man. They probably said something that kid that disrespected Cam probably, heard something that the parents said, because that's why our kids hear. They hear and see, and then they recite it.
Yeah.
They hear and see just like rap music. They hear it, see it, now they want to recite it. So I think that's what happened with him. This man I think they should show Cam a little bit more respect, because the guy is, and I know this for a shadow of a doubt, man, the dude is more in the community than anything, man. And like I say, he gets his time and his money towards it. And like I say, this dude is a billionaire. He don't have to do nothing. This dude is a former MVP. He got endorsements. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's getting a good royalty from the NFL, in everything, bro. And I'm like, come on, man. We got somebody that's actually doing something for these kids, and y'all about to ruin it because y'all want to jump on the man because y'all don't agree with something. And it has to be some, Mark, because why can't it be one-on-one? Why had to be multiple men on him? Why had to be multiple? See, that's what I'm saying right there. It got to be something against him, because his multiple men jump on him. Multiple? This dude didn't even have any bodyguards. That's how much he cared for the community. Because I bet you Eli and Peyton and all that, I bet they got security out there watching.
For sure.
Cops and everything. You probably can't even get you can't get on the field without his permission. This dude ain't got he ain't got no bodyguards.
He was trying to be approachable. Like back in the day, it meant the world, be a young kid in New Orleans and had a junkyard dog come to your school and you get to interact with him. That meant something back in the day. But, with junkyard social media and modern technology, man, it feels like it's made celebrities and athletes more accessible than they've ever been before.
Absolutely.
To the point where people feel like we're on the same level, even though we're not. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. What's the number one rule in the Real Sports Podcast group? We're not players. We're not on the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't go up to the Cam Newton and say, man, why the heck you ain't throw to Steve Smith against the Falcons? Why you throw to Greg Olsen? Steve Smith was wide open. Yeah. He don't look at me like, what are you talking about? You haven't done what I've done.
Right. So why you pick up the ball in Super Bowl 50?
I ain't
gonna say that to that, man.
I ain't got a cojones asking that.
Exactly. I'm not gonna ask him that. Would I pick up the ball? Hell no, I wouldn't pick up the ball and get killed. No, it had to be a reason. I don't know. We don't know, but he didn't. But he did pick it up. I wouldn't question this man. I appreciate this man. I tell you that. I'm not saying Cam Newton is a saint. Yeah, Cam Newton, he got a mouth.
Literally the worst thing I remember Cam Newton doing at any point in his career outside of maybe what happened in Florida was the comment he made about women in sports.
Yeah.
Other than that, can you really say anything negative about him? Like, we live in North Carolina. Yo, how many times do we see on the news all the volunteer work and giving back to the community he was doing in Charlotte when he was a Panther?
Yeah, they worship that dude in Charlotte, man.
Come on, man.
They worship that dude. He took him to the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? When they was really garbage. If it weren't for him, they wouldn't even survive that, bro. I mean, it's amazing. They went 15-1. 15-1. Holy smoke, bro. All on Cam Newton, who had no receivers. His number one receiver was Greg Olsen.
Yeah. But host on a bigger picture.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to turn this into a miniature episode of the barbershop, I promise. But one of the things that I don't understand about us as a people, right? Mm-hmm. We say all the time, like they mentioned it in The Last Dance. Why aren't these prominent black athletes giving back to their community more? Why have they abandoned their roots? Why aren't they there trying to help the kids, trying to teach the kids, do all this good stuff in the community? Then when you have prominent athletes that do give back and that do work in the community, like LeBron James, like a Cam Newton, or like a Russell Westbrook, it's corny. We want to talk shit about them. We want to belittle them. We want to demean them for them doing the hard work. But then when nobody does the hard work, we want to complain about it and ask, well, why isn't anybody coming out? Which one is it, man? Do you want these prominent black athletes to be in the community and uplift these kids who need it the most? Or do you just want them to perform well for your favorite team? Which one is it?
That's a good point. I'm with you on that. I think we just need, like you say, I think we need to. Okay, I'm glad you said Westbrook real quick because I'm glad you said that. I meant to get to that. It's a guy. That's another guy that we need to. It's another guy he puts in the community.
Yeah.
And I remember I heard you say just not a few minutes ago. You said you can only take so much. That dude has been calling bitch, this and that, like, and I'm pretty sure he don't jump at every name call. But God, man, he a human being just like everybody else. Yeah. He's gonna go off. I seen a clip against they just played against the Mavericks. Kevin Durant. It was a lady. She called him a bitch. And he went over to her and he said, don't disrespect me like that. Some people would say, oh, he's a diva. He can't take it. No, he's a human. Don't do him like that. Now, if he went off on you, they're gonna sue him. Oh, yeah, exactly. But you deserve
Trying to
that.
get some money out of them.
Yeah, because it's called verbal abuse. It's called verbal abuse. Why would you even come out your mouth like that? It's not that serious. That's what I'm saying. Just like the lady of the Bulls or whatever. It's not that serious. You eavesdropping, trying to figure out what we doing and all this stuff, and then we beat y'all, and you over there on the other side cheering for the other team. That's not even your team. But you cheering against us because we beat y'all. Now who's the child and who's the adult? The kid over there just like, he chilling. But she all over there going crazy. So I'm saying, the mentality of an adult right to these days, yeah, just as gotten worse as the kid. And this is the results of babies having babies. Yeah. And just because they got the age, 30, 40, 50, doesn't mean they got it all up there as far as maturity. Tell you that. That's part of the problem. And they also are losers.
I agree.
Like you can't teach your kid sportsmanship now. And I try to teach that with my kids. When we lost the championship, I got my team together and I made them give them a hand clap. Because they beat us. That's all it is. They beat us. It's a YMCA game. Sportsmanship. It's gonna teach them that when they win. They ain't want to shake hands, but we did it anyway. That's what you're supposed to do. Jesus, man. I don't know, Mark. What have we done?
Man, I love my community, man. This is another prime example where we got to do better.
We got to do better, man. We got to do better, Mark. I agree with you on that, man. We got to do better. We didn't grow up with athletes doing stuff in our community. Hell no. No, they ain't do nothing like that.
People was upset when Michael Jordan wasn't doing more in the community than he was.
The greatest of all time. He don't even do jack. And everybody say, oh, Michael Jordan, he'll never show up. What for? We don't even know how to act. They took Freak Week out of Atlanta. You know why? Because we don't know how to act. Gotta do better, people.
Yeah, man.
Gotta do better. Let's wake up. Let's grow up. Grow up.
Sure.
I feel the barbershop vibe in here.
Yeah. it definitely turned into that, no doubt.
Yeah. Sports is something, man. Sports is something we pay our hard-earned money to go to a game, right? To enjoy those athletes, enjoy their talents. I wouldn't shit on Patrick Mahomes in his face. I wouldn't call him a bitch or a faggot or, I wouldn't degrade a man like that. Because he's the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. But he's a human being. He's a man.
Yeah, if I were to meet him, I would say, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I don't like you on a football level because what you did in my favorite team, but you're a pretty cool dude. Like, I would still respect him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like when you met Jonathan Abram in New Orleans, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when I met Jonathan Abram, I'm like, all his antics, I didn't wild out or nothing like that. No. I went over to him. I said, man, you Jonathan Abrams? He said, yeah, man. I said, man, I'm a Raider fan. 31 years, man. I said, man, hey, you did your thing out there. I appreciate everything you did on the field, man. I said, man, you better come on back to the Raiders. I said, you coming back? He said, I don't know, man. I don't know. I said, well, anyway, man, I appreciate everything you did on the field, bro. He said, man, thank you, man. That was it.
Yeah.
I ain't disrespecting, man.
No.
Gotta show more love, man. And I'm not just saying to Cam Newton, but all these athletes, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, all these guys, man, come on, man. I better stop that. There'll be another Malice in the Palace.
Can you blame Ron Artest?
Could you blame him? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry. You poured beer on me, bro. I'm gonna be just like Ron Artest. You feel me?
You see what I'm saying? It's the ruckus, man. It's a ruckus. That wouldn't even happen if that fan would have chilled.
Hell no.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for today, man. As always, God, we gotta do better. As always, man, we want to thank you for watching that episode of Sports to Talk About. Go ahead and tap that thumbs up button and that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications for us, man. What's the episode?
Hey, man, we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. We're gonna talk a little NASCAR, talk a little football, talk a little basketball. We even gave you guys a little taste, a little preview of what you can expect in the real man-to-man barbershop. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You're not going to get this type of coverage anywhere else. I don't care if it's cable television, YouTube, what have you. Nobody else covers the wide range of sports and the wide range of life quite like the Real to Sports podcast. So if you want more of that, come on back. We got more for you. We're going to be back in the building Saturday with even more sports on the Real to Sports talk show. And we're going to be back next Tuesday with sports to talk about. The grind don't stop, so come on and enjoy the ride with us. We need you.
That's right, baby. Yes, sir. I'm glad he said it, man. Y'all heard what that man said. Y'all heard what he said. We will be back here. We'll be back here this Saturday live with more NBA and NFL discussions, man. And on the Real Sports Talk Show, Saturday at 1 p.m. Saturday, it will be, of course, me and Mr. Episode. And again, man, before we get out of here, man, we still want to send our condolences to Q Dog. For those of you who don't know, last Friday, man, Q, he lost his nephew. His nephew passed away, and he was really, 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 really close with his nephew. And him and his family is going through a really, really heartbreaking time right now. So again, man, if you know Q Dog or social media or anything like that, man, just give him a big shout out, man. And we wish speedy blessings on Q Dog and his family, and hopefully he'll be back with us next week. But we will be here. Me and Mr. Episode, of course, you know that guy. Y'all know that guy right there. He gonna be here. He gonna be here, man. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock, man, we're gonna talk some more NFL and NBA, of course, man. So everybody, man, you know the saying, man, believe in yourself and keep pushing forward no matter what. And everybody around the world, please be safe and stay safe. Host an episode. We out.